This podcast is brought to you by Rebecca Cassells of the Rising Dawn series. Do you like violence? Do you like smut? Are you tired of the stereotypical novels of werewolf romance out there and want something a little bit different? Then pick up Sparked Revolution, Book 1 in the Rising Dawn series by Rebecca Cassells. Available on Amazon, in Kindle, and paperback. You too can become a sponsor of Stories, The True and the Fictional by heading on over to buymeacoffee.com/STTATF or follow the link in the show notes. Hello guys and welcome to another episode of Stories, The True and the Fictional. We got another great interview coming up, someone from Australia, from the Melbourneian state. But before we get going, Ryan, you're back for your second interview.
Yes.
How we doing?
Good, mate. Good. Very good. Normally, this is when I have my afternoon nap, so you should feel very privileged that I'm actually doing this recording. But no, I'm joking. Yeah, doing good, man. Doing good. You know, keeping on, trying to keep cool in this bloody heat we're having at the moment. And
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, as you've heard from the intro, guys, this episode is brought to you by Rebecca Cassells and the Rising Dawn series. Go check her stuff out for the paranormal romance stuff, werewolves and all that cool stuff. But then Martin Kearns, he's finished his Valor of Valhalla series. I really need to get to that. 3 books, amazing books, urban fantasy. He's been on 3 or 4 times. Go check his stuff out. Go check my stuff out. Letters from the Emu War and my new series of novellas called The Wedding Night Trilogy. It's raving reviews, especially from Ryan, the Uber driver. And yeah, all the links to that will be in the show notes. But now that the promo's out of the way, S.K. Putt, how are we?
Yeah, good. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, I'm good.
Awesome.
How you guys going?
Good.
Living the dream.
I knew I was waiting for it.
No, well, it's funny because you mentioned that, you know, and we should probably get this out of the way, that you like punk rock, we like punk rock.
100%.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So
Well, it's now technically known as dad rock, you know.
Melancholy.
Yeah,
It's like dad rock for us, you know, growing up on, you know, back 20 odd years ago when you used to go to all the concerts with Newfound Glory and Melancholy. I've seen Melancholy a fair few times, but all of it. Now it's all dad rock, you know. It's crazy.
Yep. Did you see that Melancholy and Pennywise are doing a tour next year?
They are, yeah.
Out in Australia.
Yep.
Nice.
I saw them 2 years ago. I still haven't seen Pennywise, but I think I might go to that show as well. It'd be pretty cool. Seen both at the same venue would be sick.
100%. You know, I went and saw Me First and the Gimme Gimmes a few weeks ago with my nephew up at Newcastle. It's a real small venue, so it felt like an old school punk rock gig. And I'm going this is because I hate stadiums. It's like I never saw Green Day because I don't like stadiums. I don't like, you know, right. I don't want to pay like $1,000 to sit in the front row, you know.
I saw Blink at Rod Laver Arena early this year. Like it's stadium, but like obviously they're just a massive band. So but yeah, they were awesome live.
Yeah.
When Travis Barker play by himself, that's a show in itself, I think.
Yeah, he's a great drummer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this was the first time that I missed Blink when they came out. Last time they came out, I think I did Wollongong, Newcastle, and Sydney in the space of 5 days. So I think Newcastle was first. I had a mate who lived in Newcastle. I went down and saw him at Newcastle Entertainment Centre, stayed at his place that night. Then we went down and saw him we saw him in Sydney, and then saw him at Wollongong as well. That was pretty awesome. Wollongong was a last minute thing. We kind of had nosebleed seats, but I mean, it was still pretty impressive.
What year was that?
It's gone back a bit, probably
like 2012 or the 04?
Yeah, it was before they broke, like before Angels and Airwaves and Plus 44.
Oh, so like 03, 04.
Probably about 10 years ago, yeah. No, I would say so because
that'll be like
actually it was
ago.
It'll be 20 years ago,
man.
Just
my wife, so it was probably about 15 years ago. So still, I can still remember it like it was yesterday.
Wow.
But what you were saying about stadium shows, I love the smaller venues like the out here in New South Wales.
Yep.
We've got the Manning Bar and the Roundhouse and stuff. But I've seen Green Day twice. Once at the Sydney Cricket Ground and once at the Sydney Superdome. And man, I think I paid about $100 each time for the tickets. But Green Day played solid 3 hours, and I don't think I used any of my seat that night at all.
Mm.
They play a hell of a show. Like if they're born entertainers, you know what I mean? Like they know how to put on a show.
Yeah, 3 hours, decent gig.
Yeah, that's crazy. When I saw NoFX this year, they played 2.5.
Okay.
You know,
their farewell tour.
Yeah. And I wanted to see them play the Decline live. So
yeah, nice one.
That they still rock for guys that are almost 60, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're getting on.
And it's not like like AC/DC where it's just like it's rock, but it's look, I feel for the drummers in punk rock because it's
just the same beat the whole time.
It's the same beat. Like it's a workout, you know.
Mm. Yeah,
but at least with rock, it could be longer drawn out, more drawn out.
Yeah.
You know, you think, but with punk, it's just all the time. So it's like, and for a 50-60-year-old guy to be doing that, damn.
Well, that's what the beauty about Travis Barker's drumming. Like it's jazz, it's hip hop, it's punk. Like he incorporates it all in his drum loops he puts in.
Yeah, he pretty much jack of all trades kind of thing. You know, I've seen him in rap videos. I've seen him in obviously Blink and other stuff as well. It just he knows how to keep relevant in terms of when Blink were not together, he went in and did some of the rap stuff, and then it's pretty awesome until he married a Kardashian, and then I lost all respect for him.
Oh, that's a good business move, wouldn't it
be? That's like, what was it when Derek from Sum 41 married Avril Lavigne?
That's right, yeah.
And the really good guitarist from Sum 41 who cannot be replaced, said if you marry her, I'll quit the band.
Oh.
And then
I didn't know that. Yeah.
And then he quit the band. Yeah. And then when they got divorced, he joined the band. It's like, wow. Yeah, because I saw Sum 41. Sum 41 was my first gig I ever saw. Saw them with Newfound Glory.
I remember there was 2 nights. There was a Sunday night and a Monday night. Newfound headlined the Sunday night, and Sum 41 headlined the Monday night. They did a swap. I remember that. I fell asleep at work the next day. It's funny.
So I've seen Sum 41 once with the good guitarist and once with someone they tried to replace him, and it's just like he couldn't play the riffs, he couldn't play his stuff because you have this metal guitarist playing,
it's a different way of playing,
a different way, and then you got this punk rock guitarist. You just like you can't play
This doesn't mesh, does it?
Yeah. Cool. All right.
Yeah, this is the punk rock podcast apparently.
Punk rock
is.
I'm down with it. It's been a while.
No, before we dive into these icebreakers, the question I should have asked at the very beginning is, who is S.K. Putt?
Who's he? Well, by day, I'm a national freight manager for a building supplies company. Then at night, I'm a author, self-published author. I guess that's my hobby. That's my little escapism from the 9 to 5. And I'm a husband. I've got 2 young kids, so my life's pretty full on. But that's a good roundabout way of explaining who S.K. Putt is.
How do you find the time to do the writing with working full time and being married and having a couple of kids as well? I mean, you must have a lot of late nights.
Yeah, it sort of starts around 8:30. It's about 9:30, 10. I try and each night or at least every second night just lock in, get some chapters down. Or at the moment, I'm currently editing a novel. Hopefully, I'm going to get out next year. Just chipping away at that. I don't always get time to do those things. So so it's always a constant juggling act.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's we're a lot alike, I guess, because we're both into punk rock. We both work in a building supplies company. I work one up here in Sydney. I'm not a manager or anything. I just run the machinery. And then instead of having children, I have a podcast. My podcast is my children. And then
I was going to say, all you need to do, Jamie, is get married and have a couple of kids, and then you'll be exact replica.
Exactly the same.
Same hats.
Exactly. Yeah.
Are you bald underneath here as well?
I'm completely clean shaven.
Yep. Yeah, bang. Yeah. There we go. Twins.
Oh my gosh, twins.
Well, I'll just leave the podcast now and leave you guys to
We're going to take a quick break here. Ryan's going to walk into the other room and shave his head.
Yeah, I will actually. Well, that's a bit harsh. Walk. Thanks, mate. I appreciate that.
You know, anytime I say that, I mean it metaphorically.
Hey, look, I'm just happy I got a permanent seat wherever I go, so I'm all right.
Yeah.
No matter what concert I go to, seating is fine.
Yes. But we don't know. You could have some cyborg implants that you're not telling us about, Ryan.
Well, yeah, that's why I've been in here for so long. I signed up for a Tony Stark test subject. It hasn't worked out as well yet, but we're getting there. Another 10 years and I'll be fine.
Okay. Cool. All right, Ryan, you want to take the first icebreaker?
Yes, I will. Yeah, seeing as you took that one last time. So this one is, with this question, we do encourage selfish answers. So not really like the world peace or all that kind of stuff. So if you could get rid of one thing in the world, what would it be?
It's probably just drivers that don't wave when you let them merge in when you're driving.
Yeah.
Like that's just disappeared. Like there's no like g'day or thanks mate for letting me merge. I just go in or they like go through that service lane bit is cut through. Yeah,
that's it.
Probably if I could get one thing, get rid of those drivers.
I agree with that. I used to and will be once I'm out of hospital going back to being an Uber driver. So I was on the road for 10 hours a day every day. So I can really, really agree with that one. I think that it should happen not all at once. I think it should happen as it goes. So you've let someone in, they don't give you a wave. The car's gone, they're gone. See you later.
100%. Yeah.
They're just transported back to their house and then not allowed to drive again for like 12 years. So I can definitely agree with that.
Very precise. 12 years.
Oh, just came to me in my head there. I was going to say 6 months, but I was like, that's not harsh enough.
Nah.
12 years. I mean, it's not that hard to go like this. Just lift your hand.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
Or even just a couple of fingers. Just like
absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I went to probably about 10 years ago. I went to Norfolk Island with my old man, and Norfolk Island's a very small island. Not very populated at the time, and there's like license plates were only four digits long, but every single person that you passed, whether you let them in or not, even if they passed the other way, they'd give you a two-finger g'day, how's it going? Yep. And I thought that was amazing because that's the best way to do it. But then I come back to Sydney and you've got idiots and arseholes that just keep cutting off and feel like they're entitled to that.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah. Bloody drivers.
It's not that hard you don't even have to lift your hand off the wheel. You just gotta.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, you're just on a bonnet, just resting. That's all you have to do.
Exactly.
Manners gone. All right. What's something on your bucket list?
Or go to Iceland, see the Northern Lights.
Wow. Who said that? Someone said that last time.
The last interview we had, the Matthew J. Turner, was it?
No, was it Joshua Walker?
Joshua Walker, yes. Yeah, he said he wanted to go to see the...
I don't know. It was one of them. It was even Matthew Turner. I'm sorry, guys. I've edited that much that it's just a blur. It was one of them, and it's definitely something I want to do.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously I write a couple of Norse inspired books. So,
of course. So you'd go to Iceland, because I know you can see it from 100%. Alaska as well.
Yeah, and also just see like rune carvings, all that sort of Norse stuff from around Iceland, or even Scandinavia, to be honest.
That's a bucket list of mine too. I'd love to see it. Seeing pictures of it and seeing videos of it definitely doesn't do it justice. I'd love to be able to, just go down there and just sit up and look at the amazing light show that you get, and to cross that off the list, I think would be very, very good.
100%. And also, I wouldn't mind going back to. Oh, I've never been there before, but go to Switzerland. That's where my grandpa was born.
Okay.
So I'm sure there's relatives there as well.
Yeah,
to track them down.
I haven't been, but I had a friend go there early this year, and it was just like, even in video, Switzerland's just stunning, man.
It's like a fantasy world or something. Yeah, it looks incredible.
Okay, the next one is where the judgment will come in. It will depend on how long the interview will go for, because if the question and your answer is not to my liking, then we may just cut it short. So you can give us two answers. So what is the greatest sitcom ever made? And if it's not your favorite one, the greatest one that's ever made, what's your favorite one?
Okay, I'll give two answers. So can one be animation?
Yeah.
Oh, sitcom,
all right. All right, so the first The Office US version, I think that was pretty good sitcom. I still watch that every now and then. I think it's hilarious. And animation, South Park.
Yeah, 100%. I think we all grew up at the age where South Park, kind of, I was in high school or early high school when South Park started. You had to watch it on SBS or something on a Monday night.
Monday night, like 8:30 or 9 o'clock.
Yeah. And you had to watch it because all the cool kids were talking about it the next day at school. So you had to watch it. And then now you can just stream the whole thing on, half a dozen streaming sites. But I definitely agree with The Office. That's one of my favorites. They are doing next year a 10 episode not reboot, but like of the same. Jim is going to be the boss, the Michael Scott role, and Michael Scott's going to come in here and there. But it's all the original cast. So 10 episodes coming, I think, in March or April of next year. With John Krasinski as obviously Jim, but he's in the Michael Scott role. So
I got a question about that. Is he going to be ripped like he is in the movies now? Like, you're going to have this ripped Jim Halper. Like, and how are they going to explain that?
Exactly. I recently started watching it again. How young he looks, and two, like, he's always a slim fella, but he just looks completely unfit. Like Chris Pratt in Parks and Rec. You know what I mean? And then he got Star-Lord and then got completely buffed. Yeah. And now I don't think you could ever go back to that role again.
No, because while the last few seasons of Parks and Rec were happening, he was already Star-Lord.
Okay.
Now, what they did is they put him under a big puffy FBI jacket to hide the fact that he was so jacked.
But yeah, I think John Krasinski will still remain quite buff, and he'll be the most buffest office manager. In the history of the office.
Or he'll sit at a desk and you won't see anywhere below his arms.
Yeah, see, that could be another thing they could do. But SK, did you end up watching any of the horrible Australian reboot of The Office?
I saw like the adverts for it, and just cringe.
Don't bother watching it, honestly. I watched. I think I watched half the season, and then I just was like, I'll pretty much watch anything. So I'm the one out of our group that watched like Madam Web and the Marvels and the bad MCU movies just so we can talk about it. But even I got up to episode 4 and I'm like, this is a joke, and it was only 8 episodes, so I just couldn't get through it. So don't waste your time.
Yeah, something about Australian TV. It's just, I don't know. It's just not meant to be. I don't think like for that big audience or like global audience.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it comes down to the fact that a lot of our television you can get grants, but then the government's like, if you want grants, these are your requirements. So we can't have good quality stuff because they won't let us,
that budget for it.
Because we've said a million times, and I mention it all the time. We had a friend, Matthew Holmes, who's a filmmaker, and he makes the most incredible films.
Mm-hmm.
But the films he makes don't fall under the category of what the government wants to get you a grant. He's very artistic, and
Oh,
and all
okay.
that stuff.
And we know how hard he had to fight to even get, it on streaming, so like on Stan and Prime.
Yeah.
And when he did when did he do The Legend of Ben Hur? That was
2016.
so almost 10 years ago, and it was only this year that it came on streaming on Stan. And he'd been fighting, because we've interviewed him a few times, and he's been fighting to get these stuff on streaming, even on Stan, where there's a plethora of Australian shows and movies and everything. He still had to fight so hard because it just wasn't, it wasn't what everyone, what the film government and everything wanted.
Yeah.
And I think, which is a shame, because all of his movies, I don't like Bushranger movies. I absolutely loved his Legend of Ben Hur. So yeah, it's just, I think Australians can do comedy, but as long as it's not a reboot of something that's already done. Like The Office, I knew was going to be rubbish. Because like a lot of people actually like the US Office better than the UK Office, which the UK Office is really good, because it's got Ricky Gervais in it, and it's really good. But they only did 2 seasons of that, where the US Office got 10. And I think Australians can do comedy, but just don't reboot something that's already been done. Do your own. Like I watched this show called Fisk with Kitty Flanagan. It's about a small time will and estate lawyers, and it cracks me up. I watch it every Sunday, and it absolutely cracks me up. It's 3 seasons long, but it's because no one else does that. Whereas obviously The Office is you've got to set to that high bar that nothing is going to even come close to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a great show on Netflix called Irreverent, and it's about an American gangster. American gangster who comes to Australia and hides out in a small town, and replaces the priest, because the last priest got eaten by a crocodile mid-wedding ceremony. Like, it's just, it's stupid. It's stupid funny. There's only 10 episodes. It's got did you ever watch Arrow?
Yeah, it's Tommy, isn't it? From
Tommy.
Arrow.
Yeah. And it's so brilliantly done. The entire cast is Australian except for 2 or 3 people. And it was just brilliantly done, filmed up in Queensland somewhere, and just piss funny. The contrast between an American and and the rest of Australia. Like, just even from the cliche, you're driving on the wrong side of the road, you can't, what's the difference between miles and kilometers an hour, like stuff like that. But it's worth a watch.
Oh, definitely. I remember watching it after you recommended it. It's so funny. I was spewing that there wasn't more.
Yeah, there's rumor they're doing another season, but I haven't. We'll see what happens.
It's Netflix, so
Yes, we only want 1 season. That'll do.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool. All right, what's your zombie apocalypse plan?
Find the nearest gun shop. That's probably the most obvious thing I can think of. Yeah. What else? I don't know. Actually, this just came to my head. Like, those like Freemason halls that just pop up randomly. I would go there, because no one goes in there, so you wouldn't be found by the zombies. But there you go.
Cool.
I like that.
Bit left field.
Yeah. No, because I think everyone would either go to a gun shop or Bunnings. So got to think outside the box.
Bunnings is pretty obvious. Like, you got hammers and all those.
Yeah, well, like 10 years ago, there was like a Facebook group that said when the zombie apocalypse happens, meet me at Bunnings.
Well, I can see that, because that's my go-to as well, because you've got seeds to plant.
Yeah.
You can plant tomatoes and plant all your vegetables and fruits and everything like that. You've got an endless supply of weapons. And as I said, you've got that little cafe that'll last you at least 6 months to a year if it's just you. And you could just, live happily.
Yeah.
Or the barbecue, a few barbecue and snags.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think that once you get past the first year of the zombie apocalypse, it's sort of going to die down a bit. Anyway, all the survivors have kind of gone into their little areas where they're going to go, and then, it sort of dies down after that, and you can sort of live out your life pretty peacefully.
Say that, yeah.
It's not what The Walking Dead shows us, Ryan. It goes on for 20 years almost.
Oh, God. Yeah, I think I gave up after season 5 or something like that. It was just It was good, but it was just
It went too long. It
yeah,
went too
too
long.
long.
You guys
Just
play
went
the
too long.
game Last of Us?
I
Yep.
loved only the first
Yeah.
one. I'm one of these. I played the second one,
Oh,
but I it didn't land for me. Like I liked the idea. I love the gameplay, but I don't think they executed it as well as the first one.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that controversial?
I really liked the second game. Loved it actually. Yeah. Fair enough.
No, well, I like the idea of flipping characters, you know, and then you have to empathize with the other character, and then you have faced with two characters that you kind of
It's like
supposed to
moral
love.
dilemma. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
yeah, and
sure.
I love that is just brilliant writing. But for me, I didn't find Abby a likable character. I didn't. I could see what they were trying to do. I just couldn't connect with her all that well.
Oh yeah, I can agree
You
with
know what I
that.
mean?
Yeah.
I mean, this is coming purely from like a writing perspective.
Yeah.
I could see what they were trying to do. I did not connect with me.
Fair enough.
Not as powerful as the first game in my
Yeah, definitely the first one. Yeah, that was amazing.
I think
So,
that last 15 minutes of the first. I've only played and finished the first one, but that last 15 minutes from when you go into the operating theatre is just amazing.
Yeah.
It's got all the heart wrenching, the sense of urgency, the suspense and everything. Just that last 15 minutes of the game. I mean, the whole game's amazing, but just that last 15 minutes, I will never forget that. And the way they replicated that in the show was pretty good too.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the show yet.
Oh, you haven't? No,
I'm gonna have to watch it.
there's
Look,
okay.
it had potential. I'm very because of how much I love the game. It's just there's things that they did. I'm going. I wish you did. Look, the first two episodes, at least the first episode's amazing.
Yep.
The second episode's pretty dang good, but they started changing things. They did an episode where they basically took a large chunk of the game and just tossed it aside. It was just like a filler episode, and don't get me wrong, it was well directed, well, brilliantly acted, because Nick Offerman plays Bill, and he was the perfect Bill. But they took that whole section of the game where you get to run around with Bill, and there's all the banter between him and Ellie, and they just threw that out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
That's a shame.
yeah.
But
So
in saying that, also I think it was only 8 or 9 episodes. I felt like, and they'd done the whole first game in 9 episodes, and I thought that was a bit
rushed. It was way too rushed.
Even if they would look, I reckon that the stuff with Bill and Ellie would have been at least an hour episode itself. But yeah, they tried to do too much in one season. I would have happily had it end halfway through the game.
Yeah.
Because not only did they do the game, they also did the DLC in one episode.
Yeah.
So you've got 8 episodes for a game that took, I don't know, it took me about 50 hours to finish.
Yeah.
50, 60 hours to finish. And because I'm one of those people who needs to get everything, 100% it. I just felt it was rushed. But it was still, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the whole series, but I just felt it was very, very rushed.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard is that season 2 was going to be about the second game in its entirety. So they're not really learning from mistakes. No. But if you're a fan of the game, definitely watch it. I'm sure you'll like it.
It's awesome seeing it's awesome seeing it brought to life. I love it when games are brought to life and you see things because like the first 2 episodes, it's like the first episode almost shot for shot.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just you're watching it like the house is on fire that they drive past, and it's the same camera angles from the car. I'm going, this is awesome.
Oh, cool.
Again,
I definitely have to watch it.
Yeah. Even just the pilot, man. But it might get you hooked and might keep you going. But look, I was iffy about Pedro Pascal, but he sold. His performance was great.
Really?
Like,
he's
he sold
actor.
me. But again, Ellie is not Ellie. Especially when you find out about all the people that were auditioned, and they're all better than the one that they chose. But I could talk about this for hours. But
All right, we'll move on to the last question, so we can actually get to the the nitty gritty of the podcast, which is why you're here. The last icebreaker question is: Elon Musk calls you up and offers you to test drive his new electric time machine. What do you do and where do you go?
Okay, so this could be a sports answer. Are you guys into sports?
Oh, if it's
A little
soccer.
bit, yeah.
So I'm into AFL. So yeah,
Oh,
Aussie
cool.
rules. For me, it'd be go back to 2010, where I'll go for St Kilda Saints, where we lost the grand final by, well, it was a draw, then we lost the replay
Wow.
the following week. So I'll go back to that drawn grand final like 5 minutes before the end of the last quarter, and I'll run to the bench and yell out to Stephen Mill, jump on the ball, don't let it bounce through for a point, pick it up, break that 50-year drought, and we're going to win the flag. But it just didn't happen.
I don't think we've ever had that kind of answer, a sports related answer to, using the time machine to go back just so your team can win the grand final.
Yeah, I'm a tragic Saints supporter.
Would you place a little bit of money on it too, or is it just the win you want?
Yeah, I'm not really into gambling, but yeah,
so
probably not.
That's a good answer. You are a noble warrior, going back in time purely for the team. That's
for the love of the game. Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah,
that's excellent.
I don't think we've ever had that much of a heartfelt answer before.
Oh,
no, I don't think so. In the several years of us doing this, no, I don't think so.
There you go.
There you go.
You win. You win.
Well, the Saints didn't, mate.
That's all right. If I was going to change a sporting event, I would go back to 2006 FIFA World Cup.
Oh yeah.
And tell flipping
change the refs.
I'd change the ref or introduce, when they can replay it and check it now. Like if someone does a foul, we'll get the video. Oh, watch the video. They didn't do it back then. So clearly the Italian man took a dive. So I'd either install playback videos or just tell I think it was Lucas Neal not to slide tackle. Just
it was pretty it was pretty aggressive, wasn't it, that tackle? Yeah. He didn't have to.
He didn't, but there was no contact, at all. And then Italy went on to win the whole thing, so. And then again, it happened with flipping Argentina, but Argentina deserved it, last World Cup where they knocked us out and then went on to win it. So we keep getting knocked out by the champions. But...
One time, maybe.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the good stuff. This podcast is brought to you by Martin Kearns and the Valor of Valhalla series. In the battle between two ancient evils, can one naive young man become the last hope against powerful creatures of legend? Beneath the Veil is the gripping first book in the Valor of Valhalla dark urban fantasy series. If you like reluctant heroes, infernal myths, and bloody epic clashes, then you'll love Martin Kearns' formidable foray into the unknown. So head on over to readkearns.com and grab yourself a copy of Beneath the Veil today. Tell us where your writing journey began. Like, have you been writing since you were young, writing since you were much older? Like, where did it start?
Yeah, pretty recently. So what am I, 36 now? When I was about 33, 34, started writing. Yeah, so I think the Kinslayer started plotting out June 2022. So after I finished Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne, that really got me into it. It was just such a cinematic book, and it just inspired me to write. It was it just came out of left field, me writing. I growing up, I never really wrote books or like any of those sort of like fan fiction, nothing like that.
Yeah.
But I've always sort of been into arts, and I did art and graphic design at school, so I had that side of me always. But writing definitely came later in life.
Jeez, we keep having the same things in common. I've only been writing for 5 years, and I probably started around 35 years old, 30, maybe something like that. So and I just fell into it. Like I didn't get inspired. Like I had a story to tell, and I was like, all right. Didn't get made into a movie. It was going to get made into a movie, and then I went, all right, I'll do a book. How do you do a book?
Yeah, cool, awesome.
Yeah. Now I want to get this question out of the way. You follow Amy Cormack on
I do.
Insta?
Yeah. Every now and then I'll chat to him. Yeah.
Yeah, because he sparked this question, and it comes up so often that I have actually created an introduction for it.
Oh, really?
So I'm gonna play it now. Originally I was gonna just slot it in, but I want you guys to experience the intro. So I'll whip that up right now. So, the Annie Cormack question is: maps in books, yay or nay?
I'm gonna say nay. Yeah, controversial.
Ooh.
I think I'm not against it, but I don't think it. I think they're overrated to the value it brings to a book. I think obviously being the reader, you're having that escapism experience. I think you sort of picture where everything is. If the story is written well enough,
Yeah,
it should be obvious, like where they're going, the characters. Maybe a story like Lord of the Rings that obviously that plays a part with because it's the world building's on another scale. Definitely the maps work there, but overall, yeah, I'm gonna lean towards nay.
yeah. See, I used to be, couldn't care less. And now that I've started working on my next book, I need a map for my own sanity. It's like because I'm doing like I was going to do fantasy, but now I'm doing more science fiction, paranormal touch of fantasy. But I've built a world where there's so many things that I may not need to put it in the book, but I'm going to have to make one just so I can map the journey, so I can map where the character's going, sort of thing.
Well, that's different. That's to help you write. It's not really for the reader.
Yeah, I mean, I might put it in there, but it just
But even if you just have it for yourself, just for as a point of reference, then you can make that decision when it comes time to actually putting everything together. Am I going to include this? Does it make sense for the book? Because I've read some fantasy stuff where there's a map at the beginning or at the beginning of each part, and it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Because the way that it's described in the actual book, the writer, it's like they didn't have enough faith in themselves.
Yeah.
So that they figured they needed to have the map in order to illustrate the world, where they do a great job of that within the words anyway.
Okay. Well, I read a fair few historical fiction books. I think that's unnecessary to have a map there because it's like a map of England or a map of Ireland. Like you can Google search that. Yeah. So I think that's unnecessary to have it in those sort of books.
Yeah.
I'm not anti-maps, by the way.
No, anti-maps. Just like personally for you. It probably comes down to how you write. I mean, well, we'll probably get into this probably right now. But the way you write, like, do you map out your journey that they're going on, or like, is it grand scale? Is it just following a simple character? Like, what's your process with that?
Yeah, so I'll have like dot points for each of the chapters. I'll go from the ending, work my way back. Every now and then I might change the ending, just see how the story is unfolding. But definitely, plot it out. That's about it.
So because I'm learning all these terms, like as I listen to podcasts and get guests on, so the pantser and the plotter, so you're more of a plotter.
I'm a plotter. It sounds like you're gonna toilet, like pantsing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've got an immature brain at times. So,
well, you're on the right podcast. just don't bring up Chad Kroger, or Ryan will say his joke again.
I won't.
Oh, Chad Kroger. I just think it sounds like he's got something. You go take a Chad Kroger and go on the toilet or something.
Yeah, it's like a reverse Kanga or something.
Yeah.
See, I used to work in a factory way back when, like 20 years ago or something.
Yeah.
And a lot of the staff were the type of people to do reverse Kangas.
Oh wow.
I'm just saying we had to put a sign up that said no reverse Kangas.
Oh. Did you put like a kangaroo?
I can just picture our overseas audience now Googling what a reverse kangaroo is, because Only, I think
Everyone
only
Google
Australians
it.
actually know what it is.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, no, I remember I drew a picture on there. Like I drew I drew what one
That's
was on
awesome.
there. Yeah.
I just think it'll be the most uncomfortable thing. Like, I would only do it as a revenge kind of thing, like as a
Oh
you
yeah.
really hate this person. But if you got people that do it regularly, it just looks so uncomfortable. You just
I'm not gonna describe what this is. I'm gonna make people wonder and Google it, and then they're gonna be like, look away, look away.
Google it and just Google the image. Like, go to
Oh,
images and Google
From
that.
from a practicality point of view, like it would be comfortable. Like you're leaning on the assistant, so like you got a bit of balance.
yeah. Yeah.
But there's no back support or anything. So if you're someone who takes a long time to do a shit, you're gonna be,
Hey,
spinal fractures and lumbar issues and
I
all
just
that kind
gotta
of stuff.
have good backs. No, I don't, yeah,
Welcome to the
encourages
Reverse Kanga
it,
podcast.
Yeah,
it
welcome to the Reverse
encourages
Cancer
good
Podcast.
back posture. Like,
All right, Ryan, do you have any questions before we talk about reverse kangas?
that has to be a soundbite.
You know it's going to be a soundbite.
Yeah, no, I just wondered how old you were when you first discovered the reverse Kanga.
My first one I did, or like
No,
when I learned.
when you learned about it.
Oh,
You don't have to answer that question. You don't have to answer that question. So yeah, we've spoken about how you go about writing, and you basically do the bullet points, the outlines for each chapter, and work your way through there. So let's actually talk about your book. So I believe it's called The Kinslayer.
yeah.
And why don't you just give us a bit of a rundown? Oh, look, there
Oh,
we
yeah.
go. Perfect timing. Give us a bit of a rundown, obviously from just seeing the front of that and the fact that I don't read the sheets until we're actually on air. It looks like it might have a bit to do with like Norse mythology and the whole that kind of thing. So just give us a bit of a
100%.
rundown, a synopsis of it, and yeah.
Yeah, so it is based. It's really my telling of Norse mythology, in a more fantastical way. Well, doing my own research of Norse mythology is quite fantastical itself, but I guess it's my spin on it. Yeah, so I call it. Yeah, it's based in the Fleshlands. So you have these like different islands. Each have a different god or goddess that they worship, and there's this this axe on the cover. They want to bring this back into the Fleshlands. At the moment, it's in the heavens, and so a god from the heavens selects a champion each to bring that axe back into the Fleshlands, and they want to battle and fight each other with it.
So is it kind of like when you say they battle each other for the ability to bring the axe back, is it kind of like like a Colosseum, fights, or is it just like they're going through their adventure and obviously encounter different enemies along the way?
I won't give away spoilers, but yeah, there's four main. So there's a wolf god or goddess called Fenrir, similar to Fenrir.
Yep.
The serpent here, that's Yorma. That's the twin. So Yorma and Fenrir are twins, in the heavens. And then you got the snow god or snow bear god called Snowborn, and he wields a big axe as well. And the crow is Crucker. So that's all. They all fight amongst each other, and they want to fight each other in the Fleshlands.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I recognize all these names. One from Stargate. That's going way back.
Okay.
And I recognize them all from God of War.
That's what I was about to say too. Was God of War part of your research?
Yeah. So I actually use video games as research. My current cyberpunk novel I'm writing also use Cyberpunk 2077.
Will there be a character based off Keanu Reeves? Because he's in Cyberpunk.
Down the track, I have thought of it, but no, not in this one. But yeah, with the Kinslayer, definitely God of War. Major influence. That axe on the cover is definitely reminiscent of what's used in that video game.
Yeah, the Leviathan axe. That's why I was looking. But that's a good thing. You can write it off for tax purposes. Those two games, God of War and God of War Ragnarok,
Yeah,
and
that's
claim
it.
back on tax
So,
for business purposes.
it's the first book of a trilogy. It'll be my retelling of Ragnarok, 1 or 2.0.
Awesome.
So it'll progress in those themes, and if you're aware of Norse mythology, you can probably make your own conclusions of what might happen. I got a different spin on what does happen in my version of it.
I like Norse mythology. I love how it's so, I think, prevalent is the right word. I mean, it's in Marvel Comics. It's obviously in the video games. And I'm going down a mythology kind of research for my next book. I'm studying like types of aliens and that people believe in and all that stuff, whether you believe in them or not. And I've come across the Norse gods, whether there's aliens that based on Norse mythology. So they look like Chris Hemsworth, I guess. Like these wonderful, beautifully
chiseled and like sit back,
chiseled, and they're very beautiful people, but they're aliens, And like that's even what I was getting at in Stargate. You've got these little aliens, and they're called Thor, and they're called Loki, and Freya, and all that, and it's just like the overlaps. Yeah, it's just pretty cool.
Yeah, like it's prevalent in society. Like our days of the week are named after Norse gods.
Thor's Day.
That's it. Thor, like Freya is Friday or Freak's Day. Yeah, and Wednesday is Odin's Day, or originally Woden's Day, but Odin. Yeah, so there's a lot of similarities. Christmas is actually it's Yule, which is a Scandinavian holiday, which is based on Norse mythology. So Easter as well. Like it all really stems back from those roots of our Norse cousins, I guess you could say.
Yeah. So how'd you get into Norse mythology? Did you fall into it, or
I just fell into it? So read Show of the Gods. I knew it was like Norse inspired, and then I wrote this novella, which is a prequel to the Kinslayer, and I did a whole heap of research. So there's this lecture by Dr. Jackson Crawford, and it's called like Norse mythology, and it goes through like all the stories of the gods and how that plays out. So that was a massive inspiration and research point for that. I just fell into a massive rabbit hole, pretty much.
Yeah. Are you like me? You just love the research part?
You're like, all right, I've got to actually write the book now.
Yeah.
But
as you research, more ideas come. When you're writing more crap down, you got like it's just information overload, and
100%. Yeah,
like,
you really got to
stop.
you do. Like you literally got to pull yourself back and go, all right, let's start writing down like points that you want to write about, not just listening to all the research.
Yeah.
But it's such a it's a fascinating mythology. Obviously, Tolkien based all of these characters in his world off the Norse mythology. I was actually doing research. I don't know if you heard the Prose Edda. It's like an old Icelandic text, which was translated by this, what's his name? Sturli Sturgeson. So they're just old verbal tales and verbal sagas back in the day. But he actually wrote it down in the early, I think, 900s. And so I've been researching that, and like all these like names of dwarves, and like Gandalf, he's one of the dwarves that was in those sagas. So that's where obviously Gandalf comes from with Tolkien. So
he's a little more bigger than a dwarf.
Yeah, so that's where he put his spin on it. But definitely, like the trees, like obviously the ash tree and Norse mythology, that's pretty prevalent in Lord of the Rings as well. The big tree.
Is there anything you left out of the Kinslayer that you wanted to put in, like in mythology wise?
Going back. I guess there's always things in hindsight you wish you added this or you added that. Look, it was my debut novel, so I couldn't be too critical. My first time even writing a book, writing a story. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? So Yeah, I've got to give myself a bit of credit there where I can't be too harsh. Trying to expect to fit everything in on your debut, but definitely like plodding along now to my second and third book for the trilogy. That's why I'm sort of taking my time and writing a few other books in between just to get my experience up, and really give those books I want to write the best opportunity to make them as good as I possibly can.
Yeah, because I know you did a Western as well. Yeah, you did like a
So I'm into Westerns as well. I did it, Western short story.
Yeah.
Again, inspired by Red Dead Redemption and Red
I
Dead
knew it.
Redemption
I
2.
knew it. I knew it.
But also, I actually like read, and I do a lot of audio books as well. So I've listened to heaps of Western books, and they're awesome. Love it.
Yeah.
So that short story. It's it was a bit of fun to write actually. A real change up from the Norse mythology. Bit of a left turn, I guess, for my readers, but that's all right.
Yeah, no, mix up. I mean, I write multiple genres. I'm still trying to find what I want to, what I'm good at. Like, I started doing a fantasy, then I hit a brick wall. I'm going, I love fantasy, but I don't know if I'm good enough, at least at this stage, to write it.
That fantasy argument is arguably the hardest genre to writing because it's completely made up. There's no rules. There's no all right, that definitely doesn't happen in this world. Like you're making the rules, really.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No. So I did a kids book, and then I did a zombie comedy, more adult, trilogy, and now I'm tackling sci-fi, fantasy, or whatever. I don't know what I like to mix things, so I don't know what genre I'm going to be able to call it, but
no, I'm the same. I've changed up again with this cyberpunk novel coming out. That came out of nowhere. I was like, stuff it. I'll give that a go.
And you never know, because someone might pick that up and then go, oh, what else is right? Oh, Norse, cool. And then you got a variety. 100%.
I think a good thing about not being stuck to one particular genre is that you've got more chance of being exposed to more readers because, if someone, say for example, with your first two, we'll call the novella and the Kinslayer, obviously that's going to attract a certain kind of people that are into that kind of Norse mythology, that kind of story. But then, as you say, you've cyberpunk or Jamie, you've got your zombie, you've got your historical with the Emu War, and then you're not limiting yourself to one particular fan base, because you might have 3 different people that go into the bookshop and buy one of your different books because they like sci-fi, they like fantasy, they like Norse mythology, they like historical. So you're not sort of limiting yourself to one genre. Therefore, you're not shutting out a particular group of fans.
Yeah, like definitely, it was also a calculated move a little bit as well, because we all have to admit it is a business thing as well, being self-published. So you're right. It's definitely that more exposure to a broader audience. 100%. Yeah.
And can I just I like to talk about covers now. Do you design your own covers, or do you outsource? Have you got someone working on your covers exclusively, or how do you go about your covers? Because to me, obviously the cover and the back of the book is what you're going to be seeing in the bookshop. I'm going to go, okay, this is going to be the reason why I'm going to buy the book. I noticed the cover to both of those books there that you had quite. They don't. When I say you don't have lots going on in the cover, which is good. It can just bring you into that one perspective and go, okay, I know what this book's going to be about, so I'm going to get it. So do you design your own, or do you outsource to someone else like Fiverr or something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Found a cover artist. She designs my friend's. She's a musician. Her like tour artwork, and so she's a graphic designer by trade. And I said, oh, hey, sort of message her, say, hey, I'll write this book. Do you want to have a go at covering, designing my cover for my books? And she gave it a go, and she's obviously has that eye for design and doesn't overcomplicate the books, as you touched on, or the covers, I should say. She's awesome. So her name's Ali Pedersen. She's local. She's from Victoria as well, or for me. She's amazing to work with as well.
So do you think you'll use her for all your books going forward?
Yeah, she's doing the cover for my cyberpunk book, Paralyze. So yeah, that just sort of started recently actually with yeah, she's amazing. Like once you find someone you want to
Yeah.
you enjoy working with, you really want to hold on to them.
Yeah.
Likewise with my editor Emily. Yeah, she does an awesome job as well. So yep. Yeah, Ali, she's great.
You got to find that team, stick with that team, you know?
100%.
100. Yeah, it must make life so much easier if you can find an artist that can do the different covers, the different genres, and you've got that relationship with, and it just at the end of the day makes you don't have to worry about the cover art because you know that she's good and you know that she's reliable and can get the job done. That's just one thing you don't have to go searching on apps like Fiverr or anything just to try and find people overseas, and then they might not do a good job. And it's so much better when you can, like you said, she from Victoria, so it must be a lot off your mind to have that cover
100%.
artist. Yeah,
And even like there was a few formatting issues that come with Amazon, as you're probably aware of, and just like getting her like back and forth, probably like 20 emails it was in the end, especially with this novella. The border was really tricky getting in place, and like she was awesome. Just yeah, she kept sending it another copy through, until like the right one landed. Yeah, just amazing to work with.
Are you
awesome.
on Ingram Spark as well? Did you submit there as well, or just Amazon?
I'm lazy, but yeah, I definitely in the future I want to go with Ingram Spark, just so you got more stores to work with.
Yeah, the good thing about Ingram Spark is they're like direct source to bookshops and stuff like that, so people can order in bulk and order through them.
For sure, yeah. Definitely looking, for my next book, definitely Ingram Spark, and I'll probably add the other ones on as well.
Yeah.
I got a local bookstore that stocks my books as well. So that's
awesome.
Cool.
That's cool. Yeah, the only problem with Ingram Spark is it costs money to upload. Yeah. I think it's like $25 per upload or something like that, but it's like a one time.
Yeah, well, okay, one-off payment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I think if you got to update your files or whatnot, then you got to pay again, sort of thing. But I think,
really? Okay.
yeah, it's like, but if you're 100% like you're done, you know what it is, everything's perfect, and you don't keep finding typos or whatever, stuff like that. I think there's also a window, like if you upload something, then you can upload it again for a few days or whatever, just before release or whatever. But I think it's worth doing. I think that their print quality is better than Amazon too.
Yeah, like I'm friends with Josh Walker, and yeah, he said the same thing. Ingram's the quality of the covers are a bit better. I've actually got his Exile book, and he's right. It does look and feel nicer.
Yeah. I want to get that book.
Currently reading it. It's so honestly for an indie author, and it's his debut novel.
Yeah,
it's really top tier writing. Yeah.
And, I'd want it purely for the cover too. Like that cover is so good because we had him on a few weeks ago, and it's just like, you got me, man. But I think I was going to buy one, but he's moving up my way soon.
He's moving. I think December. I think.
Yeah, we're talking about. No, he was going, we can do an in studio episode or whatever. I'm going like, well, I think it'd be cool, and I guess I'm going to announce this now. Expect to hear from me, Sydney writers, but getting a few of the guests we've had on from Sydney and just doing a local one, and then we can all trade books and
Yeah, well, Josh,
cool
me.
like that.
I don't know if you know L.R. Schultz or Luke Schultz as well. He's an Aussie author. No. Yeah, the three of us. We met up. We all exchanged books recently.
Cool.
That's cool.
Might have to hit him up.
Luke's really good. He's cool.
Cool. So, is there any other video games you're gonna get inspiration from for writing another book? Like, here's a
Are you gonna write a book about two brothers that are plumbers and go, the Mario Chronicles or something like that?
It's already been done, hasn't
it? Yeah. No. Did you play Cyberpunk and then get the idea for Cyberpunk, or did you want to do Cyberpunk and then play Cyberpunk?
Definitely play the game first. So I played the game when it first came out in 2020, even with all the glitches and whatever.
The glitch version. Yeah.
I still really liked it. It was awesome. I thought the glitches actually added to the experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm planning going, it'd be cool to write a book about this. And I'm just like, nah, like it's cyberpunk. Like, what do I know about the genre? You know, whatever. So I wrote obviously the Norse books. And then I was just doing I was playing Phantom Liberty. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna write a cyberpunk book. Let's do it. So yeah, after playing that game recently, well, what was it, about a year ago it came out?
Yeah, like a bit longer.
Yeah, so it definitely planted the seed to start writing and jotting down plot ideas and whatnot for Paralyze.
Yeah. Well, I got a lot of my ideas for the book I'm working on now from Horizon Zero Dawn. You know.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's one of my all-time favorite games. They're just about to re-release the first one, but with higher PS4, PS5 quality. I think when they upgrade it.
Yeah. The graphics in that game's amazing. I've only played maybe like an hour or two of it, but
I was obsessed, and Ryan can attest to it. I was obsessed. I finished it on every difficulty, and I played it over and over. Found every single Easter egg, and just loved it.
I remember. After Christmas, you and I were in JB Hi-Fi, and I was looking to spend a JB voucher, and Jamie just grabs Horizon Zero Dawn and just get this. It was like $40 or something. Just get it. Just get it and you'll thank me. And I did. I did thank him for that's how obsessed. Are you that obsessed that you're gonna play the Lego version?
No. Well, I kind of feel I played the DLC. I think it was the DLC to the new one, and I was just like, ugh, it kind of almost killed it for me. It was
the Lego ones. I'm a massive fan of the Lego games. I think that they do quite good work. Like I've played the Jurassic Park one, I've played the Star Wars one, all of them, and I did just download the Horizon Zero Dawn. It's based on the first game. I downloaded that 2 days ago, so I'm just waiting till I finish the current game I'm playing, and then I'm going to jump into that. But a lot of people go, "Oh, the Lego games are for kids," but that's like all the Marvel ones are amazing. The DC villains one is really good. Like they got good story, and just the ability to utilize so many different characters, especially the Jurassic Park one. It's got all of the traditional. It goes all the way from the first movie to the very end of where they're up to at the moment. It's absolutely great.
I'd like to push back on that idea that Lego is for children when I'm pretty sure they verified that adults are the biggest purchasers of Lego.
Well, there you go.
Well, the TV show with adults building it, didn't they?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Well, isn't there that show? There's a Lego building show
Hamish.
on Channel 7 or something where Lego Masters,
yeah, something like that.
I never got into building the Lego, but all the games they're just really good. Like they've got Harry Potter, or they've got all the Hobbit, the Lord of the Rings ones. It's pretty good, pretty interesting.
No, I love building Lego. It's my puzzle. My old man used to do puzzles on holidays, and I'm like, Lego, let's build some Lego.
Yeah.
So you're gonna write a book on Lego now?
Definitely not. No. As I've sort of previously mentioned, they're pretty time poor. So building Lego, don't think I could quite fit that in that at the moment.
Yeah. Unless you're listening to an audiobook at the same time.
Yeah, multitasking. There you go. Lego. I don't think I've touched the Lego since I was about 10. But
any other questions, Ryan? I'm racking my brain because we keep going on tangents.
I'm good.
I think this is
I just my main one was about covers and obviously about what the book is about, so I can buy it. Right. And speaking of buying it, where can you get it from? Can you get it from Amazon? You can get it from whereabouts? Where's the best place to buy it for you so you get the most money out of it?
Yeah, Amazon. And it's KDP Unlimited as well.
Nice.
If you're a Victorian, if you're local, well, for me, I keep saying local. If you're in the Mornington Peninsula, there's a bookshop called Farrell's there, and they stock my books as well. So you actually could go to their website and buy it as well.
Cool. And back on covers just briefly. What's your favorite punk cover?
Punk cover.
And most importantly, have you heard the new punk. I think it's a punk Disney album. I forget what it's called, but
No.
it's like all these punk bands doing covers of Disney songs.
Oh God.
Hey, Yellow Card's on there, man. Really cool cover.
There you go. Yeah, don't know about the Disney punk covers. Oh, but the best punk cover. Oh, it would probably be Boys of Summer by the Ataris.
Oh, that's cool. That's a cool one.
Yeah, yeah.
Play
That's going back
regularly.
a while.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Show them at AJ. What's another good cover? I think Green Day do a few Beatles ones as well.
Yeah, they did a really obscure album. I think it was between A Warning and American Idiot. I think they released an album. It had a few weird covers on it. It was just like this random out. I can't even remember what it was called.
Yeah, right. Definitely, the Ataris one. That's probably number one for me.
Cool. No, I'm huge on punk rock covers, as you can see from my hat. I love Me First and Giving Gimmies. All they do are covers. You see them live, and they're like, "This next song's a cover."
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, it's like, all right, this is the next song. It's a cover. But no, it's cool. What I love about Gimme Gimmies is they're a band that like a super band, so they have new members all the time. Like always mix it up.
Yeah.
Like so originally it had Fat Mike from NoFX on bass. It had Joey Kate from Lagwagon on guitar. Had the drummer from No Use for a Name. And another guitarist from Foo Fighters. Same singer all the time. But last time I saw them, Chris Chaney from Living End filled in. So he was playing.
Oh, yeah. I've seen him live. He's amazing live.
Yeah. When he was
he
playing,
goes hard.
Yeah, when he was playing with Me First and the Gimme Gimmies, he looked bored. Because it's just simple punk rock stuff.
Same, yeah.
And he's just like, I'm going, you look bored. Like I can tell that you just want to unleash.
Yeah, he loves a solo for a punk guitarist.
Yeah.
Because obviously just three chords with punk rock.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, no, but like this time I saw him, they had the bass player from the Ramones.
Cool.
Drummer from I think it was Social Distortion, I think. And then a guitarist from who's a band that sings Lump? I think it was Lump. She's Lump. She's Lump.
Presence of
Yep, that's
America?
it. Yeah. They're playing. So it's all these old school old rockers playing punk rock covers. And it was just a good time.
Do you like new up and coming punk bands?
I'm pretty I like pretty much all punk.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I grew up in the 90s, 80s, 90s, so NoFX, Lagwagon, early Blink. That's the kind of stuff I grew up on. But, obviously, I like The Clash, so I going back that far, and I don't really stay up to date too much with the new ones, but from ones will pop up every now and again, and I like what I hear. It's just
there's a new one. They've been around for about 10 years or so, but they're called The Story So Far.
I know The Story So Far.
Yeah, I reckon they're amazing. Yeah.
Aren't they a bit older than? Aren't they like 20 years old now?
Probably.
I remember going to Byron Bay with some mates, and that was a very, very long time ago. We used to listen to Story. Well, put it this way, I used to have my very first email address. One of their albums was called In the Wake of Determination. And my very first email address at Yahoo was In the Wake of Masturbation. So that's how long ago it was. So it's at least 25. They're at least 25 years old.
Okay. They've been active since 2007, according to Google.
Oh, there you go. Close to 20 years old then.
Yeah, because I always remember, like, I keep 2007, that's not that long ago. And I'm going like, well, I was...
like anything post, for me, year 12, like 23. Post year 2006, you're like, oh yeah, that's recent. It's like, no, it's like 20 years pretty much.
Getting old. You're getting old. I'm just kind of like, oh yeah, my first band I ever saw was 2002 or 2001. I'm like, well, that's almost 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, my first gig that I ever played was in 1999. So there you go. 1999 to 2019. 2020 is when I left the band just before COVID. So they're 21 years and I'm 42. So that's like half my life.
Do you miss playing and touring with your band? or your old
I
band?
wouldn't call it touring. I'd call it, that first show we ever played was at our drummer's girlfriend's New Year's Eve party. But then we started playing like local shows at, community halls and
Yep.
community centers and stuff like that. And then once we all turned 18, well, I was 18, but the other guys in the band were 16. So once they turned 18, we started doing, proper venues. Like we played the Annandale, played a lot of, just that's how I met Jamie, through his band, and my band used to play together.
Yep.
But yeah, and then, you end up sort of go from practicing twice a week to practicing once a week to practicing once a fortnight, because as pretty much everyone in the band, bar me and one other guy, had got married, had kids.
Yeah.
So, it's just, yeah, but it was good. Look, it was probably the best time of my life. I've never traded for anything. But yeah, very, very good time, and lots of drunk, and like, there's nothing like getting drunk in the car park of a community centre about half an hour before you're meant to take the stage. I can't remember a gig that I did sober, so
Wow.
that's probably why I don't do it anymore.
I did every gig sober.
Yes, that's because you don't drink.
Yeah. I was always designated driver. Yeah.
You were kind of like, most punk rock, bands always drink and stuff before they play. So you were actually the definition of punk rock, because you were anti-establishment. You didn't drink,
That's it.
so you were more punk rock
edge.
with all of us.
Yes.
What's like
Yes.
H2O, the band?
Yes.
Oh yeah, H2O, I remember them. God, that's going back.
Yeah.
I graduated in 2000, so I used to listen to them back in high school when I first got my first car. That's crazy.
We graduated the same year, but you're 2 years older than me.
Yeah.
Because I dropped out.
That's very punk rock.
Yeah. And then I went to, my parents were like, you're dropping out early, you have to do something. So I went to TAFE, good old Community College of Australia.
Yeah.
And it was, so bad.
So TAFE don't care if you show up or not, as long as you, as long as you do the pracs and you do the exams. Because I went to uni and TAFE. So uni was like, if you don't show up, you're in trouble. You got to show up to all tutorials, all lectures, and all that kind of stuff. Whereas TAFE is like, show up when you want.
Yeah.
You can get all the material online. As long as you pass the exams, you're sweet.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that was a good thing about TAFE.
Yeah, the TAFE I went to had a $2 million recording studio.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, nice.
Didn't do anything with it, I didn't start gigging till well after TAFE, because at TAFE they're all, clinical, and you got to play guitar like this. You got to, because I don't know if Ryan noticed, but I don't play guitar like normal people play guitar. I hold the pick wrong.
Oh, really? Yeah.
That's punk rock, man. Anti-establishment.
Yeah. Anti-establishment. That's it. Yeah. Now, all my band was called Handball Deathmatch, and we got all our gigs on YouTube somewhere if anyone wants to go and look at how bad we were. Yeah.
Will do.
All right. Just want to plug yourself.
Yeah.
Tell us where we can buy your books, your socials, all that stuff.
Yeah, so I've got my socials. Yeah, on Instagram it's sk_author. My website is holmganger-publishing.com. Yeah, so all my stuff there on my website. Yeah, you can see like all my link tree and X links, all that stuff. But yeah, my books are on Amazon, as I mentioned before. Yeah, that's it.
Cool. Make sure you guys check all that out. All the links will be down in the show notes. Check out Rebecca Cassells and Martin Kearns and my stuff too, all in the show notes. And yeah, SK Putt, thanks for coming on.
Cheers. Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate
Thanks
it.
very much.
And we'll catch you guys next time.
See you next time.
In 1932, the Australian Army declared war on 20,000 emus and lost. It's a part of Australian history that not many know about. Maybe that's because history is written by those who win. So if you want to hear the full story of the Great Emu War of 1932, then check out my book, Letters from the Emu War. Read letters, newspaper articles, and journal entries. With every turn of the page, you will gain a deeper understanding of the life and times of emus at war. So head on over to jabryden.com and grab a signed copy today.